These two Michelin tires look almost identical, and they promise many of the same things: comfort, efficiency, and long mileage. But they are engineered with very different priorities. The e.Primacy was designed to minimize energy consumption, while the newer Primacy 5 is Michelin's latest all-round summer touring tire. So, does the efficiency-focused e.Primacy still have genuine advantage, or has the Primacy 5 made it almost impossible to justify? Today, we are comparing the Michelin e.Primacy against the Michelin Primacy 5. The test result comes from ABV's EV tire test. We start with wet braking, and this is where the first major difference appears. From the same speed, the e.Primacy required 54.68 meters to stop, while the Primacy 5 stopped in just 48.78 meters. That's a difference of 5.9 meters, or substantially 12% advantage for the Primacy 5. To put that to perspective, when the Primacy 5 has already stopped, the vehicle fitted with e.Primacy tires could be still traveling at a meaningful speed. So for an everyday touring tire, this is not a small statistical difference, it's a significant wet safety advantage. The advantage continues around the wet handling circuit. The e.Primacy completed the lap in 91.4 seconds, while the Primacy 5 recorded 88.7 seconds. That makes the Primacy 5 approximately 3% faster. The percentage may sound modest, but a 2.7 second difference over a single lap is meaningful. It indicates strong wet grip and greater confidence when braking, turning, and accelerating on a soaked road. Once again, the Primacy 5 takes the win. The final wet test examines straight-line aquaplaning resistance. The e.Primacy lost contact with the road at 72.2 km per hour, while the Primacy 5 maintained grip until 77.7 km per hour. That is a 5.5 km per hour higher, giving the Primacy 5 another 8% advantage. Across all three tests, the results is consistent. The Primacy 5 offers a considerably stronger wet weather safety package, but dry performance produces a rather unexpected response from an older tire. In dry braking, the e.Primacy stopped in 38.11 meter compared to the 38.56 meters for the Primacy 5. That gives the e.Primacy a tiny 0.45 meter or approximately 1% advantage. It technically wins, but this margin is unlikely to be noticeable during normal driving. The e.Primacy completed a dry handling lap in 54.56 seconds compared with 55.51 seconds for the Primacy 5. That makes it approximately 2% faster. Subjectively, it scores 6.1 out of 10, while the Primacy 5 received 5.9, another 2% advantage. So, despite being strongly focused on efficiency, the e.Primacy was marginally better across three dry measurements. However, the difference remained relatively small. Unlike the wet braking results, these dry advantages are unlikely to transform to everyday driving experience. Overall, the e.Primacy narrowly wins in the dry, while Primacy 5 dominates in the wet. Now, we come to mileage. Based on 2023 ADAC tests and Michelin's claimed 16% improvement over the Primacy 4 Plus, the Primacy 5 is estimated at 71,108 km versus 71,500 km for the e.Primacy. That's just a 1% difference, so the expected mileage is effectively identical. It's a similar story for interior noise. The e.Primacy recorded 63.6 decibels, while the Primacy 5 measures 63.3 decibel. The Primacy 5 is technically 0.3 decibel quieter, but the rounded percentage difference is zero. In real-world driving, both tires should deliver virtually identical cabin noise performance. Now we reach the category that the e.Primacy was specifically designed to win. Its rolling resistance was measured at 6.3 compared to 6.8 for the Primacy 5. Because lower rolling resistance is better, the e.Primacy holds a 7% efficiency advantage. This can contribute slightly to lower fuel consumption in combustion vehicle or additional driving range in EV. When it comes to pricing in the 225/55 R18 size, the Primacy 5 costs €171, 5% less than €180 of e.Primacy, saving €36 per set. It offers better wet performance with similar mileage and noise, while the e.Primacy's main advantage is a 7% lower rolling resistance. In summary, from my perspective as a tire engineer, this comparison comes down to efficiency versus overall safety and value. I would choose the e.Primacy if achieving the lowest possible rolling resistance is the overriding priority, particularly for an EV where every improvement in energy efficiency matters. It also holds a small advantage in dry performance, although the margins are unlikely to be noticeable during everyday driving. However, for most drivers, I would choose the Primacy 5. Its 12% wet braking advantage is far more meaningful than the e.Primacy's small dry gains. It also delivers stronger wet handling and aquaplaning resistance while offering the similar mileage and noise performance, and it costs 5% less.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.